All right, what is up, guys? South Asian Man Evolution episode. I don't know what episode this is, but 27, I believe. Episode 27. It'd be pretty quick tonight, only about an hour because I got to be somewhere at 7:30. But if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Not in my usual location, but show must go on. See a couple people tuning in. All right. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. All right. Let's go. First question of the night from the first move 1999. He says, "Dang, you guys are quick to these. I didn't think I was like barely here for 10 seconds. You all logging in. That's what's up." First move 1999 says, "Should you track macros or calories?" I've heard mixed advice. Well, here's the thing. Macros, calories are part of your macros. So, yes, cutting, bulking, maintaining, you have to track your calories. But you also got to track your protein, right? So, no matter what you're doing, always remember the standard advice. You want to aim for around 0.7 grams to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, right? At all times for your protein. And then when it comes to calories, it depends if you're cutting, bulking, maintaining. So basically, go online, use like a TDEE calculator, enter in your height, your weight, it'll give you your maintenance calories. And then for a cut, it's anywhere from 300 to 500 calories below your maintenance. And for a bulk, it's the other way. It's about 300 to 500 above your maintenance for a bulk. So that's my advice to you, buddy. I hope that helped. But yeah, you should always track, and macros include your calories and your protein. There comes a time though, when you've built like your desired dream physique, right? At that point in time, you can kind of just like chill with it a little bit because you've probably been consistent eating. You've either gotten to your ideal weight. At that point in time, it's kind of like your diet. You're used to your diet. You can like be a little chill with it. But definitely that first like couple years, definitely be tracking your calories. Once you've built kind of like that dream physique, right? Then you can chill a little bit. Don't have to be such a stickler with that, but making sure at all times high protein diet once you get to that ideal physique. All right. Next question. What's the best place to get out of a plateau? Are you talking about like a weightlifting plateau? Or are you like what are you talking about of when you mean plateau? And as you guys are coming in, drop your questions in the chat. As you guys are coming in, go ahead, drop your questions in the chat. So you said, as your weight remains stagnant. Okay, well, here's the thing, man. Like, if you're at a plateau and you're trying to cut, right, that's easy. That just means you gotta eat less, right? Have less calories until you start seeing some progress. Um, for bulking, it's the opposite way, right? If you're not, if 2 weeks go by, you don't see anything on the scale, right? And you're trying to bulk, increase the calories by like 100, 150. Cutting, it's reverse. You're not seeing any progress. Eat less, right? So you get less calories, be able to cut more. So let's see. Your next question said, "Are you able to eat out and remain in shape?" Absolutely. It's not that hard. My diet is honestly a lot of Chipotle, a lot of Chick-fil-A, but I go out and sorry, I go to Google and I'm just I Google has basically the nutrition information on everything from both those places. You got to do a little bit of digging nowadays with Gemini AI. It does a really good job giving you your calories and protein, but that's basically how I'm able to eat out and remain in shape. High protein diet, good training schedule, stay consistent, use apps like Gemini, nutritional facts online and track what you're eating when you're eating out. Um, a lot of times though, when it's like not a branded restaurant, like not a franchise type of company, it's a little bit harder. But nowadays, you could just take a photo, upload it to like ChatGPT or Gemini, something like that, and it could give you an estimate of the calories and protein. So there's a couple ways to go around it, you know. But all right, Expert Skills says, in your experience, what races of women are most open and least open to dating South Asian guys? So it's not really. Here's the thing. I always say this in my videos, but the more attractive you make yourself in all these areas of life, right? So fitness, social skills, fashion, skincare, just the way you present yourself, you're gonna get race all different types of races. It doesn't really no nobody really discriminates. You become the exception a lot of times, right? Even for a lot of women that do have a type, right? But what usually happens with race niche appeal is you tend to attract more diverse women, more minority women, just being a minority. So for me on like my dating apps and stuff, like naturally I tend to attract a lot more Indian women, a lot more like Latino women, a lot more black women, and I still get plenty of matches that are white, but what usually happens is it tends to be more Indian women that I attract, and that's just, race niche appeal. It's kind of like how your race, you usually tend to attract women of your similar race, right? So naturally, as being a brown guy, you're gonna attract you're just naturally gonna attract more women of your race. But again, like I always say in my videos, the more attractive you make yourself in all these areas of life, the more options you're gonna have, regardless of your race and regardless of the girl's race. So, yeah, solid questions so far. All right, if you're just tuning in, go ahead, put your questions in the chat. If you're just tuning in, solid stream. Real quick, just a reminder, top link in the description is my South Asian Warrior School community helping single South Asian professionals level up their dating life. I actually changed the name to South Asian Casanovas recently, but if you're interested in improving your dating life, you want to join a community of like-minded men trying to improve their dating life, take it to the next level. I have tons of exclusive video modules, content on cold approach, looks maxing, fitness guides, online presentation, fashion, dating apps. Take a look at the school community. It's the top link in the description. You'll be able to get a lot of help from people, not just me, but a lot of people in the community, a lot of people, in my exclusive community trying to level up. I do weekly live calls in there as well. And there's also a place where you can register for one-on-one coaching, photo shoots, just a ton of great content in there. So if you're interested, definitely check out the link in the description to join the school community. Also, you can grab a copy of my book that recently came out, South Asian Casanova. Links to all those products, resources, again, in the description. So definitely be sure to check those out if you want some extra help. No pressure, but extra resources, extra help for you. Check out the links in the description. All right, the first move, 1999, says, I'm trying to get down to 16% body fat. My biggest issue is that I'm not able to stay consistent with not eating out. Um, yeah, so I mean, like I said, man, you have to track your calorie. Your next comment said you said I got that non-bred unk physique. But yeah, answering your question, man, I mean, you got to just suck it up and realize fitness, it's not even like there's no option, It's part of your lifestyle. You have to be disciplined enough. You really have to want it, right? No one's coming to save you. If you want something bad enough, you're going to find a way to do it. You're gonna find a way to like reach that goal. So be consistent in the gym, right? You're not even at 16% body fat. Commit yourself to 3 times a week, progressive overload, going up in weight every couple of weeks on your lifts, your exercises, right? Basic, you could do basic push pull legs. You could do a basic bro split where it's like chest and triceps on Monday, back and biceps on Wednesday, shoulders, legs on Friday. Any of them work, but that's the thing, right? You gotta go online to Google, find your, it's called the TDEE calculator. You put in your height, your weight, it gives you the macros, it gives you the calories you need to eat and maintenance, right? You just go 300 calories beneath that. Track every single thing you eat, in addition to being consistent in the gym. So wake up, right? At before, plan your meals, honestly. Plan your meals like the night before. The night before, list what you're going to eat. And then beforehand, do some research on the calories, the macros of everything, right? The calories, the protein of your next meal days. Have your day planned, have what you're going to eat, what time you're going to go to the gym, have it all listed on like a document so you know exactly what you're doing. That's that's how it's done, man. You start planning tomorrow today. I believe that's the saying, but it's so true. You don't just wake up and just, start. The evening before, you chart out your whole day, what time you're going to go to the gym, what time you're going to, I don't know, work or study, what you're going to eat. Track it all. Make sure you know the calories and protein. Have your meals set in stone so you're not double guessing, so you're not, scavenging for food to eat last second. Plan tomorrow today, man. That's my best advice. And just remember with fitness is just consistency, right? It's not a race, it's a marathon. Some people get there in just a year of working out. Some people it'll take multiple years. It'll take 2 years, 3 years even. But if you stay consistent, you're not gonna fail. You have to think with this mindset, what can I do so that I hit the goal and that I can't fail? Well, it's common sense. If you're consistent at the gym, you consistently hit your grams of protein, you're consistent with your diet, you're going to the gym consistently, you're tracking everything, there's no way in hell you can fail. You'll get to it. It might take you a little bit longer, but if you track everything and you're disciplined with the diet and start planning tomorrow, today, and really take this seriously, you'll reach your goal, bro. All right. You guys got some funny questions, man. I feel like if you just watch my videos, it answers most of your guys' stuff. But Expert Skills says I'm bald, so 95% of women rule me out for that. I think that's cap, bro. There's something else you got going on that they rule you out for. But okay. Hair transplant won't work as I tried taking Fin/Min drugs, but they give me sexual side effects. Is it worth it wearing a hair system to increase odds? Okay, so there's a couple ways you could look at that. You can embrace the male pattern baldness and become as strong as possible, as rich as possible, as ripped as possible, as confident as possible, dress your best, and I guarantee you do all of that stuff, it'll overshadow that flaw you had. I was balding not too long ago, like a year ago, and I still was crushing it on dating apps because I had a ripped physique. My presentation was amazing. I was still going on plenty of dates. I was confident. I dressed well, and I was still getting dates. If anything, the hair transplant was just optional for me, and I ended up doing it. So to kind of gravitate towards your next question, hair transplants, you don't need to take finasteride and minoxidil because finasteride and minoxidil is to preserve the existing hair that you have pre-transplant, if any. So if you're already pretty bald, what they end up doing is they take hair from the sides of your head and the back of your head. Those follicles, those hair follicles, are resistant to male pattern baldness. So if you're already pretty bald, your top is like all gone, but you have, the classic like bald look, hair on the sides, hair on the back. They take the hairs from those areas and they transplant them to the top. And those hairs they take from the side and the back are resistant to DHT, the hormone that causes hair loss. So when you get a hair transplant, you are not going to lose that hair. You don't have to take finasteride and minoxidil. The people that have to take finasteride and minoxidil are those that have already a solid amount of hair already, but maybe their hairline's receding, right? The finasteride and minoxidil is to stop, further hair loss from occurring, right? So if you have, say a little bit of hair on top, but your like crown is bald or you got a receding hairline, right? Those people take finasteride and minoxidil to preserve what they have. But if you're already like pretty bald on top, like a Norwood 5. You don't got to get on finasteride and minoxidil. They're gonna extract the hair from the sides and the back that are resistant to DHT, man. But regardless of your hair situation, if you want to get a hair transplant or don't get a hair transplant, again, become as strong as possible, as ripped as possible, work out, be consistent, do all the other looks maxing stuff, improve your social skills, dress better, and you're going to get the desired result. There's going to be plenty of women still vouching for you, right? There's going to be women that just genuinely don't prefer bald guys, but there's going to be women that do prefer bald guys. They don't care, right? So that's my best advice. Don't you can do things to overshadow, one or two of the flaws that you have. So I hope that helped. All right. Any other questions in the chat? Expert Skill says, just to clarify, I'm so bald that I don't have enough donor hair on the sides and back to even get a hair transplant anymore. But thanks for your other advice, though, bro. How's that even possible, though? I'm sure you have at least a little bit to cover the top. Like, what happens when you grow it out? Because the hair on the sides and the back doesn't fall off. That's resistant to male pattern baldness. But regardless, like I said, right? Own it, become lean, ripped, dress better, have a solid physique. It'll overshadow the issue you have. It'll overshadow those flaws you have with male pattern baldness. It's not a deal breaker, right? If you maximize in all these other areas of life, you'll be fine, bro. All right. But yeah, to answer your other question, you said something about getting like a oh, yeah, you said something about is it worth getting a hair system to increase I mean, that's up to you. I don't know much about those, but I mean, I don't judge, you know what I mean? Some people they look pretty natural, right? Some people think they're fine. Some people have had good results with them. Some people I think have said it's like annoying because they got to like clean it every now and then. It's really all up to you. Um, if you like it, go for it. If it's bothering you that much, go for it. But if I was in your situation, I would just either see if I could get that hair transplant or I would just own it up to it, do my best job, and maximizing all these other areas of life, embrace it, but maximize the other areas of life to overshadow that flaw I have. So solid question so far, though. All right, go ahead, drop your questions in the chat. Drop your questions in the chat. And just as a reminder for those of you guys that are watching, top link in the description, my South Asian Warriors School community, helping single South Asian professionals. South Asian Casanova School community. I keep saying South Asian Warriors. That's what it used to be called. But top link in the description is my South Asian Casanova School community, helping single South Asian professionals max out, level up their dating life. So much exclusive content on there, guides in there. I do live calls in there. There's a community forum. I give you feedback, direct feedback on your text game, your dating app profiles, just a ton of great resources in that school community. So if you're interested in joining the school community, check out the top link in the description. All right. Expert Skills again says, I tried a hair system and I look way better, but I just can't, but I just get some anxiety. I tried a hair system, I look way better, but I just get some anxiety since there's a stigma for a man to wear that, which is BS, but you can't change society's double standards like that. My advice is don't give a fuck about what other people think, bro. Yeah, don't give a fuck about what other people think. Yeah. If you want to wear the hair system, wear the hair system. If you don't want to wear it, don't wear it. Rock it. If anything, if a dude has a hair system but he's confident as fuck about it, doesn't care what other people think, if anything, that's going to be more attractive to the girl. Own up to it. Don't be super reactive about it, right? If you want to wear one, wear one. Or just embrace the baldness and do the same thing, right? So, up to you. If I was you, I would just rock the bald look, get as lean as possible, dress better, and overshadow the baldness, right? All right. First move 1999. What do you think about age gap relationships? I'm 26, want women that are 18 to 20. That's fine, man. No issue with that. You're probably going to attract women that are more in their early 20s, like 23, 24, 25, but that's fine. But I don't even think you at 26 want the headache of dating a girl that's like 20 and in college. You know what I mean? The maturity level isn't there. I'd say for a 26-year-old, date like a 24-year-old, 25-year-old, 23-year-old is fine. Because the girls between 18 to 22, they're in that ditzy college party phase. I'm assuming you at 26 are trying to get your career together. There's also that relatability factor, right? You want to date women that like you can actually like kind of relate to at least. And 18, 19, 20-year-old girls kind of like you're in two different phases of life. By the way, for those of you guys that are wondering where I'm at a buddy's place actually streaming. But yeah, man, I'm not going to sacrifice the stream, you know? Business first, YouTube first, right? Even if I'm in Antarctica, somehow find a way to consistently post YouTube videos and live stream when I can. That's what it takes to win. You're going to do what you have to do every single day or every week or whatever your goal is, and you don't miss a day. And that's how you just win at life. That's how you become a winner, man. I could be in Miami doing this stream, but I'll find a way. If I had to go to a coffee shop, I'd do it. I consistently always post 1 to 2 YouTube videos every single week. I don't miss a day. Even if I don't have my normal camera and I have to film them on like an iPhone, right? I'll still find a way to do it. I don't miss, man. And that's what it takes to win in life. You always stay consistent and you'll get the result eventually. How are you not so greedy? There's guys charging $5,000 for photo shoots. We appreciate you. Nah, I mean, at the end of the day, I believe that as long as you provide tons of value up front, the money will come eventually, right? My hope is I provide enough value to you guys, at least especially this year, and then more and more people will want to utilize my services, the school community. And then by the way, if you're wondering, I have a photo shoot offer right now in my school community. I'm doing free photo shoots. I need like 3 or 4 more people. So if you want a free dating app photo shoot, okay? So you snooze, you lose, by the way. Anyone who's like not on this or doesn't watch this live stream is about to miss some insane valuable information. But if you want a free photo shoot by me, where I literally tell you what to wear, how to pose, guide you through it, give you your high quality photos for dating apps, set your dating app profile up. If you want literally like the whole dating app photo shoot process done for free for a limited time right now, I'm looking for 3 to 4 single South Asian professionals who are trying to improve their dating life online. If that applies to you and you want the help and you want that free photo shoot, again, this is for a limited time. Join the school community, and in there's instructions on how to get that free photo shoot. Again, you snooze, you lose. This is for a limited time. I'm not going to be doing this forever, but right now, if you want that, join the school community. Click the top link in the description. It's the best investment you'll ever make. but you'll get that photo shoot if you desire. If you meet all the requirements, okay, after joining the school community, and I deem you as coachable and you seem like a good fit, you'll get that free photo shoot. Again, this is for a very limited time only, and I'll make a YouTube post about it next week too. But I'm looking for just 3 to 4 more people who fit the criteria, wanting to improve their dating life online. Again, first step for that free photo shoot, join that school community, top link in the description, and in there, the first pinned comment has all the instructions on how to sign up for it. So, why can't you do well on dating apps if you're not 16% body fat? Well, dating apps are all physical, right? You have to cater towards the female gaze. So the female gaze is lower body fat percentage, V taper physique. I really, my channel is called South Asian Fit, not just because, I just randomly called it South Asian Fit. It's called South Asian Fit for a reason, because I truly believe the base pillar to all of this is your fitness. Your body, your physique speaks body game. All of it should be used as a point of leverage to improve your dating life. You know, fitness was the number one thing that improved my dating life from the looks maxing perspective. I tell guys all the time that you need to be going for that lean muscular physique, not just cold approaching 1,000 girls and hoping for a couple numbers, not just, doing all these weird autistic black pill stuff. Getting lean, getting into shape is the base pillar to improving your dating life. And it goes well hand in hand with online presentation. Online presentation, it's physical. They want to see, your physique. They want to see photos of you, right? When you're in shape, not only are you going to be able to leverage your physique, you're also going to look a lot better in clothes. Fitness is also part of fashion. They go hand in hand. And dating apps, it's all about online presentation, presenting your physique, fitness, fashion, the physical traits, right? The most important part of online dating and getting more matches are going to be your pictures. And the more in shape you are, the better clothes will fit on you. Physique is part of it. It's part of your online presentation. And, the lower body fat percentage you get, the more you can leverage your physique, you'll get more matches. So, first move says, join the school community. Guys, Nair saved my life. I used to be an incel, and now I love being a brown guy. Glad you find my content valuable, man. It's doing my job trying to help, other South Asian professionals level up just like I did, using the exact same um, steps, procedures that I did, you know. I'm not, I'll be honest, like everything that I post in that school community and in my YouTube videos is it's like I'm basically trying to talk to a younger version of myself who was like 25, 26, who struggled tremendously with this, you know. I was in your guys' shoes not too long ago. I'm 32 now, but it wasn't that long ago that I was that guy in his 20s who was struggling trying to figure this all out. So when I make my videos, it's also really trying to I act like I'm trying to basically give advice to the younger version of myself. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give advice to like the young me from like 25, 26 that needed self-improvement, looks maxing, social skills, presentation advice. So, I'm glad my advice has helped you. All right. We're about 28 minutes into the stream. Pretty solid stream so far. Do you ever proudly show off your culture with women, or do you shy away with it? If she doesn't respect my culture, she's not a good fit, man. I don't shy away from it, you know. Girls know I'm South Asian. I mean, look at me, right? If she doesn't want to be a part, if she doesn't f with my culture, then I don't really f with her, you know. I never shy away from it. I embrace my culture. I'm proud of it. I'm probably gonna be, the most, especially for like white girls, right? I'm probably way more interesting with my culture aspect than any of the basic white guys that she's ever dated, and I stand out tremendously, especially being a brown guy. I definitely do not shy away from it. All right. Anyone else? Drop your questions in the chat, or if you guys want, click the pinned comment to join the stream and talk to me directly, man. Click the pinned comment to join the stream and talk to me directly if you want. Have you ever dealt with hate or racism growing up? Yes. I mean, I grew up in a predominantly rich, like white. I wasn't rich, but the school that I went to, the closest school that was near me was a bunch of like rich, white, wealthy kids went to that school. So all the time, I got a lot of crap for it. There was racism. Um, it's like the classic, racism that brown guys experienced, right? Especially growing up, it's all the, mocking like the accent, even though, I wasn't even born in South Asia, but they would still, mock me and try and do an accent. I didn't really give a fuck, but still, it was like, whatever, if that's the worst you can do to me, I'll deal with it, right? It was either, and they would, 'cause the typical like insults that brown men get, unfortunately, right? It's like, oh, smell like curry, smell bad. Oh my god, like, this those accents, stereotypical brown stuff. That's kind of like the hate I got growing up, but as a result, I just like ignored it. And then really I think through towards the end years of college, going to the gym more, getting more consistent, right? I just stopped really caring what other people think. But yeah, never let any of that verbal crap get to you. Honestly, your mind is your own biggest weakness. Nothing that any of these idiots say to you should really affect you if they're putting like negative comments, right? It's really your mind that's going to F you up. At the end of the day, like words on a stupid, YouTube comment or some random kid like coming up to me talking shit doesn't affect me. You know what I mean? It's like, who cares? I'm gonna be more successful than that kid anyways. That's kind of the mindset I also had in high school. I didn't have like the best experience in high school or even college, but deep down within me, I always had that urge that like I'm gonna end up better than this kid in like 10 years. Just watch. All right. Since you don't drink anymore, what do you end up ordering at a bar? Like, what do you tell the bartender? Honestly, I just get like a Diet Coke, no F's given. Or if they have like a mocktail menu, I'll ask if she could make me a mocktail. Well, that's about it. Guys think they have to order alcohol when they're asking women for drinks. I don't do that anymore. Like, I really don't care. A woman can order a drink, fair enough, whatever. I'll order my Diet Coke. I don't care. I'll get my Diet Lemonade. I don't care. I'll get a mocktail, right? A lot of like classier rooftop bars have like mocktails. So there's always a solution to everything, you know? So that's why I'm like, if I ask a girl out for drinks, that's fine. Most women, I mean, I don't think I've ever had a single girl even like negatively pointed out that I didn't order a alcoholic drink because most of them don't really care. Most of them are just trying to vibe and see if you're a good fit, like long term. Does the mocktail contain zero alcohol? Yep, zero alcohol. Confirm with the bartender before you order it though. But every mocktail I've had is zero alcohol. So yeah, man. By the way, bro, if you're if you're in the school community, join the live calls that I do in there. Saturdays, 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern time. Yeah, Saturdays, 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern time in the school community is when I do live calls as well. Those are going to be more interactive because in order to join those live calls, I mean, you got to really show your face, right? So that's the benefit of the school community. It's like you got the live calls where you can answer questions for me directly. You got a community forum where I'm answering your questions in there as well. And there's other members in there now that contribute too. And you got all these video modules and exclusive content that I'm adding every month. So, how has religion affected your dating life? How many people join those? I mean, I'm pretty straight up with my religion. I tell the girl that I'm Muslim, I don't drink, I pray. I really don't care, you know what I mean? And most women are pretty receptive, even if they're Christian or Jewish. They're like, "Oh, that's cool." If anything, they kind of want to learn more about my culture, you know? And it's funny when I tell people sometimes, like, "Yeah, I'm a dating coach, but I'm Muslim." They look at me like I'm crazy, but then I'm explaining it to them. I'm like, "Well, I pray, I don't eat pork, I don't drink." And then they're like, "Huh, I guess that's possible." I'm like, "Yeah, exactly. I live a pretty wholesome lifestyle, you know? And I don't judge, I don't discriminate, right? I work with anyone, Christian Indians, Hindu Indians, Pakistani men, Bangladeshi men. I don't care. If you're a South Asian guy, professional, preferably, who's struggling with your dating life, I'll help you. But for me personally, religion's not really affected my dating life. I mean, there have been women that say, there have been times when I met women where they ultimately end up coming back to me and they're like, I think I'm a better fit for somebody who's like Jewish, right? Or Christian or whatever, but that's even very rare. I've dated plenty of Christian women and even Jewish women where they're kind of like don't really care. They're just like, okay, I respect your religion, you respect mine, you know? So, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when you become so confident with who you are as a person, right? These other things like religion, language, culture, like you really stop caring. You know, I'm pretty open about it, right? Like even women ask me, there's no shame. I'm like, yeah, I'm Muslim, I pray, I don't eat alcohol. I don't drink alcohol, I don't eat pork. Most of them are pretty chill with it. So, you're a Muslim, Chad. I think so. I'm not the first though. I think Hamza has me beat when it comes to being a Muslim Chad. But hey, maybe we're like 1A and 1B, you know? I'm still trying to level up, but getting there. I know all these like autistic like black pillars who like come and watch this later and be like, "You're not a angle and your upper eyelid exposure and you know your cheekbones," and it's like, shut up. You know what I mean? That's why I like hate autistic like black pillars because they literally just pick like all the most weirdest crap as if girls have like a tape measure measuring like your gonial angles and your eyelid exposure, you know? No, I'm not traveling, man. I don't know if you were paying attention earlier in the stream, but I'm literally at a buddy's like house right now. I'll just live stream because I had shit to do, you know? I don't miss it. I don't miss, you know, the deadlines I impose on myself, right? If this was in Miami and I had nowhere else to go, I'd literally pull the laptop on a beach and use the crappy like computer microphone and live stream there. So, yeah, man. Um, yeah, I don't miss, bro. I am traveling this weekend. Um, how many people join the live calls on school? Usually, it's been hit or miss recently. My school community is pretty small, but I think this Saturday I have a couple people joining, like one or two. But the school community is small. I mean, if you're in it, there's only like 14 or 15 members in it right now. Um, Sometimes like three people, two to three. But as it continues to grow, more people join the live calls on school. But I'd utilize it now if you can, right? You'll get more one-to-one direct coaching from me on there. until it gets bigger and more people join. I'll have to answer more people's questions. All right. You said I like I like how you show proof like you mastered cold approach and dating apps. You have to, bro. I don't want to be one of those guys. It's funny too. I got criticized in one of my whiteboard videos for being like Casey Xander. I'm like, Casey Xander doesn't show proof. I show proof of everything. If I'm doing a whiteboard cold approach video, I'll pull out a clip of me actually cold approaching. That actually kind of pissed me off in one of my whiteboard videos where people were comparing me to like some guy, Casey Xander. And then I went and looked at his videos. I'm like, there's actually a bunch of things that me and this dude kind of disagree on. And not only that, this dude doesn't have any receipts, no proof of nothing. I at least show receipts of my dating app's success. I at least show infields from time to time. I'm like a legit dating coach, unlike this dude. Yet all his stupid little fanboys like came to my comments on one video and started shit talking like, "Oh, you're like Casey Xander." I'm like, first of all, I'm like, I don't even know who the hell that is. And then when I like looked him up, I'm like, this dude's nothing like me, bro. I at least show the proof. I don't see any of his videos where he shows proofs. But yeah, man, you gotta show the proof. I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, man, I'm approaching the limit, guys. Sorry, getting distracted on Hinge. Anyways, what's what's the worst and best date you've been on? Is it okay to approach it in the gym? If so, how should you go about it? Yeah, the worst date I've ever been on. There was this girl I matched with on Hinge. Um, yeah, the date didn't even last like 20 minutes. It was weird. We met up at a bar. Um, it was like happy hour. Normally I don't do like food-based dates, but I was like, whatever, tacos is chill. We got some tacos. The chick orders one taco. She goes to the bathroom for like 20 minutes. I don't know, maybe she got like a stomach ache from the taco she ate, but she was in the bathroom for like 20 minutes. She comes back out. And then I like kind of peep her phone and I see like the Uber notification. And then 5 minutes later, she's like, I gotta go. My Uber's here. Thanks. She gives me a quick hug and leaves. So I'm like, I don't know what happened. Maybe the tacos gave her a stomach ache and she had like, I don't know, stomach problems and she had to leave. Or maybe she just got back together with her ex or something. Maybe that's why she went to the bathroom and her ex called her. But it was literally the quickest date ever. It was so weird. Um, but I usually have pretty solid date experiences. Um, so your next question was, is it okay to approach at the gym? If so, how should you go about it? Yeah, it's fine to approach girls at the gym, bro. Basically, what you do is you go through your gym workout like you normally would. Don't be creepy. Don't give girls stares. But if you kind of glance around, you see a cute girl that you like, right? Wait till she's like not working out. If she's like on her phone during the middle of her rest set, right? Then I think it's okay to go up to her and just honestly introduce yourself and be like, just wondering what you're working out today. And you could even take it a little step further and be like, yeah, I've noticed you around here a couple times. I just wanted to introduce myself. I feel like we work out around the same time. What are you working out today? Keep it a chill, lighthearted conversation, and then afterward be like, well, hope you have a good workout. That's it, right? For gym approaches, I don't really do it. I don't really do a number exchange on like the first couple times. I kind of want to see like the girl multiple times before I go up to her and I'm like, "Hey, I kind of seen you around a couple times. I just wanted to say hi and introduce myself. What are you working on today?" Start for gym approaches, you got to be a little bit more strategic with it. Slowly build up where you seeing the girl more and more in the gym, have like a couple basic conversations, right? Gym approaches are a little bit different. I honestly there's so many other better places to approach a girl: coffee shops, bookstores, the park, farmers markets, right? There's so many other better places to like meet women than at the gym. Also, the gym isn't where I normally like vouch for doing cold approach, but the gym is more like just making smaller, friendlier talk, and then after like maybe you've seen the girl like 4 or 5 times, then you can kind of, towards the end of your workout, then, one day, as you guys are kind of both exiting the gym at the same time, or it looks like she's winding down, then you can kind of go and, ask her out for like a smoothie, right? But you don't want to do it the first time you see a girl at the gym, right? You got to be strategic with it. Don't ask her, don't talk to her while she's working out during the middle of like a rest set, or, or like when she's paused between, sets and stuff, and you're finished like one of your workouts. I think it's fine to go up to her, introduce yourself, be like, "Hey, I've seen you a couple of times here. I just wanted to say hi. How's your workout going?" And then slowly kind of like get to know her a little bit before make that ballsy move and then ask her out one day, right? But there's definitely way better approaches, way better places to approach a girl than the gym. So do you think gym outfits are important? Nah, I mean, I'm in the minority of guys that say that. I don't really care what I wear to the gym. I'll wear like a tank top sometimes, but honestly, I'll wear whatever. I go to the gym. I'm just there to like lift weights and then get out. Lift weights, get out, come back, record YouTube videos for YouTube, do something else. Um, yeah, not really important. I mean, you can if you want, but the main purpose of the gym is to like lift weights, bro, not hit on girls. You said I wear black, gray, and white. All right, guys, it's been a good stream. Um, I do gotta do some boxing in a little bit, so I'm probably gonna end this stream in the next like 5 to 10 minutes. Probably the next 5 minutes. I know this one was a quick one. It's kind of not during my regularly scheduled time, but still showed up. So, those guys watching, give it another 5 minutes, then we'll call it a night, call it an evening. And just a reminder for those of you guys who are watching the stream later on, check out the link in the description to join the school community. Lots of great exclusive content in there. And for a limited time, I'm doing free photo shoots, okay, for dating apps. So if you're interested and you potentially think you might meet the criteria, join the school community, see for yourself. This is a limited time offer, only looking for 3 or 4 more people. So get on that deal while you can. And if you're interested, again, click the link in the description, join the school community, and inside are the details for registering for that photo shoot for dating apps. And also be sure to grab your copy of my book, South Asian Casanova. Links to all those resources, digital products in the description. Be sure to check them out. All right, let's give it like maybe 2 or 3 more minutes and call it a night. Then we're going to do some boxing. All right. Solid stream. Shout out to this dude, the first move 1999, for having majority on the questions. Shout out to this other dude, expert skills, who came on. Yeah, I guess you two guys were the main bulk of questions for today. That's what's up. All right. Give another 2 minutes. No one comes on. We'll call it a wrap. All right. Get your last couple questions in. We'll call it an evening. All right. Last minute, then we'll call it a night. Solid stream. All right, guys. Oh, we got one last question in here. All right. What's your favorite Bollywood song? What kind of music do you listen to? I don't listen to any of that Bollywood stuff, if I'm being honest. What kind of music I listen to? Honestly, when I'm working, it's just lo-fi. In the gym, I listen to like rock music. That gets me going more than like the degenerate like rap music. I don't listen to any of that degenerate rap stuff. Um, every once in a while, I'll listen to like I don't know, some of like the old school like rock or like alternative rock, like 3 Days Grace and Rise Against is pretty solid. Um, Breaking Benjamin, some like really like hard rock. That's what I listen to when I'm like lifting weights sometimes. That music gets me going. Um, Bollywood, I don't really watch Bollywood movies, being honest. When I'm working, just like some simple lo-fi music. When I'm working out, probably thing is I don't even work out that much to music. I just do it all natural, right? But when I do bring headphones, it's usually like hard rock type of music. So all right, guys, we'll end it there. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Drop a thumbs up for the stream. Drop a thumbs up. Drop a comment below in the chat if you're watching this at a later date. Drop a comment in the comment section if you're watching this at a later date. Thumbs up the stream. Like and subscribe. Check out the Skool community. Links in the description. Check out the Skool community. Link is in the description. Be sure to grab a copy of my book, South Asian Casanova. Link is in the description to that as well. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.